Yeah, and meanwhile, two of former President Trump's most outspoken election attorneys are facing possible sanctions for their efforts to overturn Joe Biden's win in Michigan. Sidney Powell and Lin Wood appeared via Zoom for a federal court hearing yesterday that lasted more than 6 hours. The two filed a lawsuit in November that was littered with lies, some of which were repeated by Donald Trump himself. The pair attempted now to distance themselves from their claims, with Wood even saying in part, quote, "My name was placed on there, but I had no involvement. I did not review any of the documents." U.S. District Court Judge Linda Parker spent hours asking the attorneys to explain how closely they had reviewed and vetted information submitted in hundreds of pages of sworn declarations that they had told the court constituted evidence of purported fraud and irregularities. This all according to the Washington Post. The judge noted one observer stated in an affidavit believed she saw election workers switching votes from Trump to Biden. Parker asked whether any of the lawyers had spoken to the witness and inquired what exactly she saw that led her to believe votes had been switched. She was greeted with silence. Anyone? She asked again. I don't think I've really ever seen any affidavit that has made so many leaps, said the judge. Judge Parker also focused on another statement from a witness who swore he saw individuals placing clear plastic bags into a mail truck and said he believed the bags could be ballots headed for Detroit's counting facility. The judge called that allegation really fantastical and speculative. Last week, another former Trump attorney, Rudy Giuliani, had his law license suspended in Washington, D.C. for similar reasons. This was just weeks after a New York court took the same measure. Joe, this hearing in Michigan with the federal judge was extraordinary. For 6 hours, she peppered these attorneys, and it boiled down to you put into this affidavit a bunch of stuff you read online, maybe in a comment section, and tried to make a legal argument without vetting any of it.
Well, I mean, they're conspiracy theories you can still find online, whether it's Russian disinformation or if it comes from a Chinese religious cult that has a front in the United States, or maybe conspiracy theories on Facebook. And for attorneys to actually put that into a pleading, sign their name to it, and then put it into federal court, that's really shocking, Willie, and it's shocking for anybody that's ever really practiced law. I've always joked about when I was an attorney in Northwest Florida, I do state law work, but man, when you went in federal courts, and it's something that they taught you very early on, you better get all your facts right in those federal pleadings. And again, they'd say the same thing about state pleadings, but you'd always hear about Rule 11 sanctions. They would come after you for sanctions. If it's not filed in good faith, you were going to get hammered by federal judges. I don't think there's a lawyer in America that started at a law firm where there were older attorneys that didn't give them that warning. That's one of the things that was shocking me in November and December when people, Rudy Giuliani, he was filing these things, and Lin Wood and Sidney Powell, they would file these crazy lawsuits, and I would keep wondering, how are they doing this? How can they get away with this? Because I know if this had happened in Northwest Florida in front of the 3 federal judges that were there when I was practicing, man, you would have lost your law license in a second. They would have disbarred you in a second. I mean, seriously, it wouldn't have been a close call. And I know I'm going on and on about this, but I just can't explain to people who aren't attorneys enough how mind-blowingly wild, how radical, how reckless, how stupid it was for these attorneys to put their names on conspiracy theories and then put them in federal court in front of federal judges. I've just wondered why it's taken this long. So, I mean, I'm not surprised by the 6-hour hearing. I guess I'm just surprised that it happened in July instead of in March. But the wheels of justice turn slowly. And perhaps these lawyers that made a mockery of these federal judges, made a mockery of federal courts, maybe they ultimately will pay the same price that every other attorney in America would pay if they did the same thing. Let's hope there is justice for all.